broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is doing fine.
Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome back to the originals, season 3, episode 1. For the next Millennium. Guys, it's been a long hiatus, but we're finally back, and I can't believe I get to see all your beautiful faces.
I'm so excited.
Guys, can we at least just clap a little for Katie though?
Oh, thanks.
That was so good.
We put Katie up to it to sing the entire first verse.
I think she put herself
and
up
she
to
did,
it.
Yeah, she actually did. She kind of did. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us back for this season 3. Here we are at AfterBuzz TV, where you can find us at AfterBuzzTV.com, YouTube.com/AfterBuzzTV, on iTunes, on SoundCloud, wherever you are. Give us that 5-star, that thumbs up, and leave us a comment because we love hearing what you guys have to say. I'm your host, Roxy Striar. You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar, alongside my amazing panel. This is Donald Romaine.
Hi, I'm Donald Romaine. You can find me on Twitter at Tigris Hobbs and on Instagram at Donald Romaine.
I'm really happy to see your face back in the studio.
I'm so excited to be back.
You disappear like a wolf for a few days.
I only come back for the originals, and it's been so long. I can't believe it's already next season.
I think that Katie's a little upset that I just called you the wolf because she is our resident wolf. It's Katie Campbell.
Hello. You can find me on Twitter at Katie Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's Campbell.
And it's been way too long since I could call her this. But our chat mistress, of course, Tiona Hobson.
Hello, everyone. I'm your chat mistress, Tiona Hobson. You can find me at the Tiona Hobson and also on YouTube right now, live chatting with everyone. They love Katie's opening song. Roxy looks hot, and oh my gosh, they are so happy we're all back together. They missed Roxy on the Vampire Diaries.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to stop by. I really am. But just so you guys know, if you're confused about what Tiona's talking about, we are going to be here live with you on YouTube at 11 p.m. Pacific time. So if you guys want to tune in live and chat with us, you can do that. Tiona likes you guys better than she likes us anyway. She actually kind of ignores what we're talking about and just chimes in with whatever you guys want to say.
What was that? What were you saying, Roxy?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah. That was pretty funny, actually.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have comedic timing.
Oh, I can see that. I've known that for years now. Or is that a ba-dum-ch that you just did? Yeah.
In my world.
Okay, so first of all, I want to hear your overall thoughts. Obviously, we've stuck with this show. We love this show for 2 full seasons. Now we're getting into season 3, and I want to know, how did episode 1 live up to the rest of the season so far?
Well, I love this show, and I think it's amazing. I think we've taken a long break, so it was a little hard to jump right back into it. I felt like I had to get back into the flow of things. I think by the end, they've given us a lot of new information, a lot of new characters, a lot of exciting things going, a lot of new alliances. There's going to be some wars coming up. So I think they did a good job presenting a really exciting season. And dang, almost cursed there. Dang, Davina looks good.
Dang,
so
girl.
That shorter hair, I liked it.
I thought it was Katie Holmes at first, honestly.
Yeah.
When she walked out, I was like, Katie Holmes. But no, it's Davina. But she looks great.
Wow, mad props to Davina. Katie, what are you thinking?
I think it's always overwhelming at first when the show comes back because you're like, wait, okay, all the stuff that happened last season, and you're thinking about it, and they're always setting up for this new adventure that's going to happen on the whole season. But I like it. I'm really intrigued with where they're going. I think it's exciting when you go back to people that have been around for millenniums, I think those are scary people. So I think that's fun exploring that whole aspect.
Tiona?
I agree with Katie. I think that this episode set up a lot of things, and it was a little overwhelming. So I can't say that it's like, oh my God, that was so awesome type of episode, but I do think that where the season will go based on this episode is going to be great.
I agree with that. You guys know I was lucky enough when I went to Comic-Con that I got to talk to a lot of the people that were on the show. One of the people who is a friend of ours on the panel is Michael Narducci, and he let me know that he has more toys in his sandbox this year. You guys remember he was talking about the toys in his sandbox. So I feel like we got to know. What was
sorry.
That was a Donald exclusive. I'm about to blow your mind prediction face.
I was going to say, you're right, though, if he said that, because, I mean, they opened up with a bang by showing us all the siblings.
Right.
And, like, we got to experience all those characters that we haven't been able to experience for a while. So, yeah, I believe that he has more toys in his sandbox, because we got to see a lot of them in the first episode.
And not only that, but also Lucien and the people that Katie was most excited to see all night. That we were all like, what do you know? I swear to God, Katie just sits in her room and looks like originals news. What's going on? Like, yeah. But I love it. That's why you have your freaking notebook.
Yeah.
Oh my God, for first timers, they're like, what are you talking about? Katie carries a notebook around with her and writes stuff down about the originals all day, every day.
Like in her everyday life.
Yeah.
We appreciate it though.
In the morning, I wake up writing the originals. Yeah, you know.
That's a good thing. But yeah, there's a lot of new characters, and so I'm excited to see what we do and how we use this sandbox to our advantage. Like you guys said, we set up all different kinds of stories, but we did something that we always do on the originals, which is near and dear to our hearts, which is going back in time. So we like to go to these flashbacks. They always become relevant. Sometimes I'm sitting there like, how the hell are we going to full circle this? It took me a while to even recognize that one of the characters in the flashback was a character in tonight's episode. Of course, thank you, Katie, for for knowing this very far out. But we go back to the year 1002. You know, when I was...
That was a good year for wine.
Yeah, good year for...
Okay.
Tiona, I was going to make a joke about 1002, and then you made a better joke.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Your comedic timing is coming back into play.
We really need a little similar thing.
Yeah, how do we have one of those. Steven knows. We have like a or like maybe like a, I don't know.
What's it is, right?
What's that?
I don't know.
Is it your beatboxer?
You know, it's called a rim shot, and it's not in the soundboard.
Oh, it's a rim shot.
Oh, rim shot. Oh, now we have James. Oh, we got a great group of engineers that are helping us out tonight. Thank you. Okay, so I'll have Donald make the rim shot sound every time.
Ba-da-ba.
Oh, that doesn't occur. No, we must move on.
It's extremely late. I'd like to start with that. I apologize for their delirium.
I'm honestly really glad we're doing originals at this time because we get really silly at night, and this should be a fun, silly after show about a show that we love that has to do with different mythical creatures that don't exist in this world.
Silly, but I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Okay, so we're back in 1002, the good year for wine, and we're learning more and more about the originals every single time we see their past. So we're trying to decide what we do. You know, they've been killing a couple of people, but they're tired of being on the run. Should they split up? Should they stay together? Klaus is the deciding vote. You know, we've got Cole and Finn on one side. By the way, the most exciting thing in the entire world, seeing Cole and Finn and Claire Holt come, that just really did it for me. And being the opening scene, I was like, oh,
this is great.
We're going to spend a whole season with them. You spoiled us a little bit. Yeah.
Well, you know, you never know.
I feel like they're going to be there. I feel like we're going to see them. I feel like it's a good sign.
I feel like that might be incorrect, but I'm also crossing my fingers and hoping.
As long as we get Claire Holt.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say, that was really pulling at your heartstrings a little bit.
It was. She makes me feel happy.
Well, I feel like even if she's not in present day, we're going to get more flashbacks of this whole story. So we're going to get more Claire Holt.
We're going to get more Claire Holt.
We know that.
Tiona, welcome back to the conversation. How are you feeling about the fact that we got to see our crew again? We got to see the whole original team.
I loved seeing them all there together and being their typical brother-sister selves. I thought it was a great way to open the season because, you know, unlike Katie, I was staying away from all the press articles and stuff, so I didn't know Claire Holt was going to be back in the first episode, so it was a great surprise for me. You know, getting to see her pop up there, and I was like, yes!
It was
fine.
Like
the opening scene.
Katie just looks down on you now, but it's fine.
No, I would never. Look, you see all the originals on the originals in the first scene.
Yeah,
what it's all about.
It was great. It was a perfect way to open the episode.
Like you had the best epiphany ever. No, it was good. We did. I loved it. You guys are on the same team right now, and I would be on Tiana's team, but she's on chat team. Oh, thank you. I felt like the purple was vampire-y.
No, it looks great. I didn't know why I didn't really notice it until I was sitting here, but I was like, it looks great.
Well, thank you so much.
Well,
iTunes users, switch over. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that the chat room is saying that they loved having Claire back as well, and that they love her, and that Lucien.
Well, we called him a couple things tonight. There was Lucien. Different people said it different ways.
I think it just depends on the accent.
Yeah,
I'm gonna super Americanize it when I say it, so just be aware of that.
It's not one of those Gia things where one is just wrong. So I think you can pronounce it a couple ways.
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't have the accent.
Wait, but what about him? They loved seeing him?
Yeah, they thought he was great, and that, like you said, the Joker thing, they kind of got that vibe from him, and it's funny because someone said this in the chat roll, and on Vampire Diaries earlier tonight, we said Damon was kind of like Batman looking over the city at one point. And
Don't tell me? Yeah. You know I haven't watched yet.
It's from the finale. It's the same scene. Okay. So you're saying that from Batman, and then over here you have Lucien, who's kind of like the Joker, so it's like Gotham City is infiltrating the vampires.
I was going to save this for when we flipped over, but I do want to mention quickly, it's really interesting that CW has taken on so many DC shows. Obviously, we have Flash, we have Arrow, we're getting Legends of Tomorrow all on CW, and Vixen on CW Seed, and now we are bringing this storyline with the slits in the face, which is like kind of Joker-esque, and I'm like, all right, WB, are you possibly incorporating something here? Like, what are you doing?
You can't cross those universes. No, but that's interesting because
people would bug out.
It looks just like the Joker.
It really did, or at least it looks like a Joker, a version of the Joker, Heath Ledger's version of the Joker, and so it's interesting. But okay, going back, we go back in time. Klaus is the deciding vote. We figure out that he wants to have a life, stop running around, all be together, pretend to be this new family. They go, and Lucien is very willing to bring them into his masters. Before Klaus even said anything, I was thinking that's kind of weird that you are willing to like let them come into this place, and he didn't have much of a choice, but he could have once they got there, like.
Well, he did say to Klaus, like, what do I care if you kill all these people? There's people who are worse than you.
Right, he does eventually say that.
We don't know what's happened yet, but there's something wrong. Well, he is a servant,
Mm-hmm. But is he a servant?
I think so. I think two things. It's like they found him, they're going to kill him, so he's going to offer to take them in and be like, oh, no, you want to do this? I'll help you for his life. He wants to save his own life, but also he's the servant, or he's the errand boy for that guy, so he's probably getting stepped on a little bit, so he doesn't really care what happens to him.
T, what are you talking about? Is he the servant?
Well, because I'm just saying.
I think we all think that he is, right?
It's the year 1002. There's no photo driver's license around to prove that you are who you are, just like it's so easy for them to kind of take these people's identities and go present them, but the king that they were presented to had no idea that the guy that was coming had kids, multiple.
Yeah, because they made it all up.
So that was telling to me, and it made me start thinking maybe this Lucien guy is actually the king's only son, and why would a servant be hidden by everyone? We didn't see the attack or what happened originally. We just see the aftermath. So it's like, why was he hidden and not like. If you're hiding someone, it's usually like the important person. The servant's the first one to go. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Why are Aurora and Tristan being paraded around if there is so much threat? If there is a threat to them, is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying that because Lucien was sent to go get someone else's. Someone else. So I'm saying like maybe he's that someone else's son.
Huh.
And that
you think that he is.
I think he's not the servant, and that he was actually the one being like escorted.
Well, but he said when he comes to the king, they say, Lucien, you brought us these people. I figured that he had sent Lucien to go get them.
Yeah.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
But now
you just debunked everything I was thinking. But I still don't trust that he is
who he says he is.
That he is who he says he is.
Okay, maybe he's hiding his identity or something. But as of now, we believe that Aurora and Tristan happen to be the kids of this king, and Tristan is supposedly this really bad guy, and Aurora is this heartbreaker. Katie, you like in a full blown, I don't even want to call it panic because it was an excited panic, like a a whole thing. We're like, oh my God, it's them. Can you talk to us about what that means?
Yeah, I read an article that was saying people are going to come back into the originals' lives. The people that the originals, Klaus, Elijah, Rebecca, have all turned. The first person they ever turned, they're going to come back and be a threat. That's all it said, so I had no idea what kind of a threat, but I was just thinking, where are these characters? And I was waiting for them, and I knew at that second, okay, Lucien and Aurora and Tristan are the three.
The three sire lines?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
So, those are 3 separate sire lines.
Yes.
Yeah, so we learned that Klaus turned Lucien.
Right, we learned that.
So Rebecca and Elijah, I don't know which one turned which there. And
Well, Rebecca had that, like, oh no, her winky moment was Lucien.
yeah, but I'm still thinking it's probably Tristan for Rebecca, and then Elijah turned Aurora, because what do we see always? We see it in Vampire Diaries, we see it in the originals. The brothers have some kind of a triangle, love triangle. So we saw Klaus look at Aurora like, oh, he was into her.
But then in the present day, we hear Klaus kind of ask Lucien, like, have you seen her? And he was like, I parted ways with Aurora. So maybe he had
Centuries ago.
Centuries ago, yeah. So
Lucien, when we get to present day, Lucien's sitting there. He's like, yo, Klaus, I don't want to die. I'm like, dude, you've been alive for 1,000 years. Like, get over it. You might die.
You might
die. It might happen. Like, you lucky son of a, you know.
To have lived this long.
Son of a Klaus.
At the beginning of the sire line.
Yeah, he's been there for a really long time. I thought that the Klaus-Lucien relationship, though, was going to go really differently than it did.
Yeah.
When he walks in and he's at the art show and they're talking, I'm like, does Klaus even recognize him right now? And then you notice that he does, and it's like, okay, most people Klaus recognizes, he tears their head off way quicker than this.
There's
What's
something
going
on. There's some kind of relationship here. But also at the very beginning, Klaus is the one who decided to give him his life. So, like, Lucien, I think, gave him the possibility of keeping their family together, because that was the moment where they were like, well, why do we have to stay together, blah, 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 yada, yada. So I don't know. I think there's something really important going on with this Lucien character and his relationship with Klaus. I just don't know what it is.
the chat, ALFE96 just said that it's actually confirmed that Rebecca turned Aurora.
Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of Aurora, just before I forget to mention this at all, she's we only see her flash forward in one scene, and she's like chanting something at the top of the mountain, and the monk comes and gives her something, and she freaks out and tears and kills him and is like, it will all be soon now. What just happened?
Holding her necklace, too.
Well, I think this is the war between the 3 sire lines. Like, the fact that, Lucien said it, and then that girl who he did the neck on, that Alexis, that did the future, said,
Right.
like,
Was that her name?
Yeah, Alexis. 2's down, there's 3 to go, and by the end of the year, all will be lost. So, I just think that there's a really big struggle between the sire lines.
So we think potentially there could be people who have issues with Lucien, who have issues with Aurora, and who have issues with Tristan, and then instead of going after them, they actually go after the people that sired them.
Yes.
Yeah, because then it kills their entire line.
Right. So we have to assume that what Lucien is saying to Klaus is true. We have to assume he's looking out for Klaus's best interest.
But is he looking out for just his best interest? Does he really care if Elijah or Rebecca live?
No, he's absolutely looking out for just his best interest, but he has to look out for Klaus's best interest in order to look out for his best interest.
Yes.
That's the only reason, though.
Right.
I don't think he cares, other than the fact that if Klaus dies, he dies.
No, but that's the best reason to possibly give. Because
No, but is he getting close to them so that he can do a power play and get rid of the sire line himself?
Of like Rebecca.
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm
really he
saying.
hates Aurora.
Yeah, like is he not, like, if it's between Aurora and Tristan and him and it's the 3 sire lines, he's in play too.
So I bet somehow he hates Tristan. We saw he said that Tristan was a really evil guy, and he wants to kill off Elijah. who turned Tristan. So he's getting close with Klaus right now, who knows that Klaus has an issue with Elijah, so that he can try to make even Klaus kill Elijah.
I think
Because the white oak steak might be still out there with the splinter.
There's something out there. There's something out there.
Yeah, we don't know. Katie, what?
I'm terrified. I don't want this to happen, and I'm also nervous about Rebecca since she's off.
Yeah, where is she?
She left.
She left. She's still trying to find a way to bring Cole back.
Yes, but we didn't see her this episode, right?
No.
Little
We did.
she knows.
We saw the
Flashback.
real Rebecca.
Yeah.
But,
She's a little unprotected, being all by herself, not knowing that this is happening.
Right, but she is an original, and the only way to kill her is to get the white oak stake, which I've lost track at this point.
So the White Oak at the end in the season finale, Dahlia, in their huge standoff, puts the White Oak stake in the air, explodes it into millions and millions of little tiny pieces, and then makes them like inhale the particles because it's like raining White Oak stake. And so
I do remember that.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the last time we've seen that one, which when he said like, are you sure every tiny little piece is gone? Meaning maybe someone went and like dusted the floor.
the white
and
oak will never
created
be
a new
gone.
one?
There will always be some version of the white oak because we need to have a constant threat to the originals, and if that's the only threat, then it has to be there. So I think that it's fair that Lucien asks that, and he might know more than he's letting on because maybe he actually has the white oak and maybe he's getting ready to kill.
Look, all it comes down to is I don't trust Lucien at all, and I need to know more about him before I'm willing to put my eggs in his basket.
Sounds like Lucifer.
Yeah, it's a creepy
does.
name. I don't trust him either, and I am so happy. I mean, a lot of times Klaus doesn't trust anybody, and I'm kind of annoyed with that. I'm like, you need to get it together. We need to work together.
He said it even tonight. I trust no one.
But I was like, yeah, that's true.
Except Cami, we'll get there.
But I was happy with him telling him he trusts no one. I don't want to trust this guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to trust this guy either, but there is just something about him that I think that, I'm not ready to not trust him.
Oh no, he's sprinkling in truths
I guess
everywhere.
because I just appreciate how intelligent and cunning he is as a character. He survived when he ran into him the first time. Klaus threatened him, and he threatened Klaus right back. He immediately flipped it and was like, well, I'm trying to make you stronger. I'm trying to make you realize what you're missing. Like, kid's smart. This character's really intelligent. So, yeah, I guess there's reason to not trust him.
And he can throw
Yeah,
a
you
hell
guys
of a
are
party.
right.
He
You
throws
can.
a
You guys
great
are right.
party.
You don't trust him.
What did you guys think about this poem? Like the future telling poem and this woman who's like, suck on me and let me get into my mind.
Is this not the same warning we got last season? Something's coming. Something's
the
coming.
beast.
The beast.
The
But
beast
the
is
beast.
coming.
The beast is going to be revealed as the beast. Klaus, who is the beast, we don't know. I think we're all on the same page though. We don't trust Lucien, but he's the only person that Klaus has right now, so we gotta be with him a little bit. Well, actually, except for Cami, like you said, Klaus a little bit as Cami, but Cami seems up to here with Klaus's crap. She is like, do not break into my house. She's not playing his games anymore. I mean, he's painting for her. He loves her. I know we talk about ships here all the time. We have some clammy ships. We have some Clareline ships. It still exists. I swear it does. We have some people who, Clearly, people are huge Clearly, so it's all over the place. But I know that we do have some clammy here. So talk to me about this Klaus-Cami relationship. Is this friendship? Is this romantic? What's going on? I'm looking at you, Katie Campbell.
I'm into it still, like I was from day one. I think that there's something there. I think that Cami doesn't really trust him, and she's kind of fed up with everything, so she's not totally seeing that, but he sees her as somebody that he actually feels real with or something. He was affected by her saying that he was an insensitive disappointment. He was completely affected by it, but it was like, keep the gift, talk to you later. Like, he likes her.
I agree with Katie. He is affected by her, and I think that's the biggest.
And they were looking at a painting.
They were.
By the crossover, you mean the backdoor pilot?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it wasn't a show yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. They met in
It's
the
true.
square looking at the painting.
Yep.
How romantical.
I mean, seriously.
Tiona, how are you
circle
feeling about this clammy relationship? Friendship, relationship, what?
First, I'm gonna say what everyone in the chat room, they would like it to be referred to as Clamille, not
Oh,
clammy.
sorry,
They would like
Camille.
Clamille.
Go ahead.
More formal. Okay.
Also, clammy is a way grosser sounding thing. Camille is
Clammy.
better.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. That's my bad.
Yeah, I mean,
it's almost
either
like-
way, you could go down the
Clamille,
road.
we're gonna go with
Clamille.
Clamille.
Remember when you whisper things to me?
There's a microphone.
I know, I listened, I was like, oh, there's a mic.
I think that, we saw in the finale of last season that she admits to Vincent that she has and for some reason she is drawn to Klaus and she cannot get over that hurdle, and she doesn't understand why, because he's a horrible person who does horrible things to people. And then you have Klaus, who's also drawn to her, and I think that it's just a matter of time before they get together. But then I also think that where Camille does bring out the better qualities of Klaus, together, I just don't think it would work because he would constantly be fighting who he naturally is to be with her. And then he'd have to change who he is in order to be with her.
Oh, he said you're right.
Well, no, but
You
maybe,
flipped real quick.
But I'm saying, no, but she's right. Like, he will have to be who he's not to be with her, or he will mature and become the person he needs to be able to be with her.
The better version
Of her belongs with her.
You know what
Yes.
you guys sound like?
If
You guys
Caroline couldn't do it,
no.
then no one can.
They sound like the girlfriend who's like, I'm gonna be the one that changes him. He's gonna be a different person with me. I can do it, and then spend like years being physically and mentally abused in a relationship that you're unhappy in because you think you can fix him. Don't fix him.
When you're drawn to things, you know, like people to each other, it's there's love there, and I think that there could be between them, but not necessarily like I can make you a better person and that's the only way it's going to work. But when people are in love, they bring out the better versions of whoever they're with. And that's what the beautiful thing is.
I see what you're saying, but let's go back to creator of the show, Michael Narducci, when he came in here and talked about why Caroline and Claylee both can't be a thing. He says, why would either one of them want to be with Klaus right now? One of them had their baby tried to get kidnapped by him and whatever it is. The other one, the boyfriend's mother got killed and all these things. Yeah. So why on earth, this is the man who's working on the show, why would he be like, it's not okay for these women, but it's okay for Cami, who's the most innocent of them all?
The only reason why I think Cami can't be with Klaus is the fact that she's so realistic.
Wait, was that a can or a can't?
Can't. She's very realistic, and at the end of the day, Klaus, like you said, is who he is.
But love is love.
Klaus is who he is, and
makes us do stupid things.
It does.
Yes.
But then she's either going to have to learn to accept him as he is and love him regardless of that without trying to change him, because the more she tries to change him, the more it's not going to work. As soon as she just accepts it, might be when he's like, you know what, you're accepting me, you're not trying to change me, so now I'm going to like mature into the person that you guys want him to be.
Klaus has a lot of issues, and I don't think he could really necessarily be in love with anybody right now and have a really happy functioning relationship, but I think that Cami could be that one day.
Let's talk about those issues for a second.
I would like to see Cami go dark and just be with Klaus.
Ooh, dark Cami.
I'm okay with that.
Interesting storyline.
I'm okay with that.
I want to talk about Klaus's issues,
Yes.
though. He has issues with his brother Elijah for reasons that we saw last season. Elijah's still pissed, which we know. He's talking to Cami about all these issues. He's also just kind of has personal issues. He's going around kind of killing people or something. We don't really know what that was that we saw at the end, him in the shadows.
Oh, like, dismembering someone out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was
He's like,
violent.
how do you like analyzing my work?
Well, that's the guy that said some stuff about his
at the art show, yeah.
So I think it's just
let's
Klaus,
justify it. Let's justify
well,
it.
here's what it is. Klaus is
right.
crazy, and that's why he can't really be in a stable relationship right now, because he's literally insane and
Sure,
he's just a
you're right.
violent killer. So he, Cami wasn't there to listen to him at that point, so he needed to go take his anger out somewhere else. So what does he do best? He kills people, and he's killing somebody he thought
That's
wronged
why they
him.
can't be together. Cami, go away.
Oh.
Save yourself, Cami. Save yourself.
Hashtag save yourself, Cami.
Hashtag save yourself, Cami. But I or go dark, one or the other.
Those are two drastically different things. We do need to see Klaus come face to face with these problems, because as Freya writes in her letter, which we'll talk about later, she says that he doesn't seem to have any regrets or remorse for things, which is the scariest part of it all. So I want to see, we've seen Klaus kind of change and go back and change and go back. I want to see a real switch in Klaus. Who knows if we'll get it this season? Who knows if we'll ever get it? But I would like to see some character development here. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about Cami and what she's doing, not involving her love life, or actually potentially involving her love life. We had some predictions at the table. Her and Vincent, they're like a crime-solving team.
It became a buddy cop comedy.
Yeah.
It really did, but what was that?
I'm doing sound effects now.
Yeah, but let me hear it. I won't.
They're crime duo.
I feel like it's more
Cami
like
and Vincent.
put 'em.
Cami and Vincent. Oh yeah, you.
What'd you-
I'm sorry.
I thought you were...
What did you do?
Did
I thought you did the, from what you did earlier. That's what I thought you were doing just now.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. That was it. That was it. Okay, so anyways, back to the crime fighting duo. Yeah, I really thought it was interesting the fact that they're leaning so heavily on Cami for like psychologically profiling the murder.
She's not
really
a cop.
Everything.
She's not in homicide.
She can
not
do
a forensic.
Everything.
She's not a
everything. She can do everything.
This was driving me insane when the homicide detective was like, I need you to get your take on it. And the first thing she said was like, well, he wasn't held up. I mean, there's no marks on his wrist. I'm like, the detective of homicide should have figured this out.
I know. Yeah. Here's the thing. We went from this woman, season 1, where the number one complaint on this after show was, what does this girl have to do? She does nothing. What does she have to do? Now we're trying so hard to find something for her to do that she's the help for the forensic analysts because they can't figure out that he wasn't tied up. New Orleans needs some new cops.
Hey guys, this is like the first time I'm really seeing the New Orleans cops in this whole series.
No, they have a homicide detective.
Yeah, clearly, this is the first time you've seen a homicide. How many deaths have we seen? So clearly they're not the best at their job.
And animal control, which comes in later.
Yes. Yeah. This is making me think, though, this Will Kinney guy, who's this detective, maybe knows a little something more and is not allowing us, he's not telling people about it because where did he come from?
Why would they show us him if he's not important?
You're detectiving the detective.
I am. I think I'm a better detective than he is.
Think you are.
Write this down. Right?
Oh, I did.
Somewhere.
Yeah, it was an interesting storyline. Again, with the Joker thing, I don't know where we're going with this. This is sadistic, and we find out at the end with the razor as Lucien slits his mouth to make a smile for himself. You sick, twisted bastard. What just happened here?
Is this like his calling card?
I don't know. He went from being like a little suspicious to somebody who was
evil,
a very serious villain.
Conniving, evil, scary.
Well, they were hung up like marionettes, like he's pulling the strings or something. I feel like this is like a visual representation of everything he is.
Yeah, because he doesn't hang them up to kill them. He kills them to hang them up.
Yeah.
Ugh. I felt like what I just said was really deep and deserves a moment.
It was a good one.
Oh, there we go. I was like,
I thought you were serving.
Oh, no,
serving
high five.
face.
That's that emoji. Yeah. I always thought it went like this, like, hey, but apparently it's like, hey.
I don't really understand, cool, trendy lingo, so.
This, that one?
Yeah.
T, what's going on? What's going on in our chat over there that you're so interested in?
I was actually listening to you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in the conversation.
Well, I think Luciano is a part of it.
So how do you feel about this sadistic, whatever he is,
I don't
vampire?
think that he is the killer. I think that it's still someone else, and there's our emoji. I think that it is because the poem went something like this. It was like 2 are already gone, 3 remain.
No, I need a cool voice with it.
2 are already gone, and 3 remain. All will be lost. The family's undone. The beast is yet to come.
It really came into its own towards the end there.
Honestly, I really felt it.
Yeah.
It was good.
So,
it was great.
Cut you at your core?
Yeah, it was like there.
So you're welcome. So they said that this beast is yet to come, and Lucien knows something that he's not telling Klaus, and I think that everything's being set up to point at him, but it's too obvious to be him. So maybe in some way he's involved with this guy. But during one of the murders, I thought he was with Klaus having drinks when they found the body, at least.
Oh, so. He was, which is why I don't think that he was involved, but maybe he's compelling the homicide detective to do it for him. And maybe when he was like doing this, it was doing it on the other person. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that whatever beast is yet to come, I think that is what is actually here, and no one knows that it's there yet.
But he could have done it and then went to go have drinks, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, maybe that's his artwork, like Klaus has his artwork.
Katie, oh my God, scary.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. And the
honestly, you just creeped me out.
And he said he had a lot of enemies. Like, I got enemies. Got
a lot of enemies.
That should have been the intro song. That would have been a great intro song.
Gee, God damn it.
Next time.
The year 3000 was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Sorry, it was good. Sorry, your performance was excellent.
That was nothing personal,
Not
Katie,
to question
please.
it.
Okay, so moving on a little bit more about Vince, because he was the one who brought Cami into the fold, but he has some more things going on. Vincent's really close with Marcel, which is interesting. They're fighting together. They're not the only ones fighting together.
Did he
Elijah's
put on like 10 pounds of muscle or something?
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Yeah.
Elijah's fighting at the Fight Club too. I'm liking taking this storyline or this new location. We got this fight club, so a lot of our anger, we could take it out in the ring. It's just given like a different aspect.
Octagon. It's like a UFC fight, except it's vampires mostly.
Exactly. And Marcel's like, yo, Vincent, you left my girl Davina hung out to dry. And Vincent's like, yo, Marcel, you gotta care that people are dying here in the quarter because like tourism and crap.
Okay, but you know what? Vincent was very right. No, sorry. Marcel was really right to say that about Davina because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
What's gonna happen?
Davina's gonna get upset at the witches because they're retaliating against her, and she already's got that plan. She's got Haley, you know, and she's who knows what she's gonna do with Haley.
And he convinced her to do it.
He did.
He needs to be around.
Well, yeah. How can he say do it? Well, she didn't listen to him. That was what happened. Remember? He was like, I gave her advice and she didn't listen.
Yeah.
But also, that's what a mentor does.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to...
stand by your person.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the king advisor.
But I felt like she wasn't very open to having him there. Davina is a very strong-willed young lady.
Yeah, she's been messed with a lot.
Yeah, and she's been messed with a lot, so she doesn't trust a lot of people to actually have her best interest.
She's put in a ring of fire tonight.
By one of the witches.
With the hands and the crushing of the hands and the fire and all of that, and she's supposed to be the leader of this. I understand why she doesn't trust people. She feels like Marcel's burned her in the past. Klaus and the rest of them definitely have burned her. So I think she's like, Vincent, I don't know what your motives are here, but Vincent is the one person she should trust because he's another witch.
But he also told her not to trust anyone.
She can't even trust her own witches.
There's only one solution here, and his name is Josh.
That's so true.
And he'll come in future episodes. I think that he's the only thing that's going to talk her down.
He's a vampy, though. I don't know if she's going to now even listen to him because she's
that's what's going to, I think, bridge the gap. Is that
maybe? But I think that she's going to have to listen to Marcel in some sense, and she is going to have to react to this with force.
Well, she's going to become a leader at some point. She has to. If she's going to be a leader, she has to become a leader.
Mm-hmm.
She's just not doing it right now.
I mean, I keep calling her 16. I think we've grown a couple of years, and then she's probably legal at this point.
She looked about 18.
Well, the chat roll saying she's about 17.
Okay.
Well, I trust what
maybe
really
18.
Say.
It's mostly
in witch years.
Yes, which is similar to dog years. No, I don't know.
Could work like that. I'm excited to see how she does end up ruling. I feel she's very alone right now. It was interesting that she did turn to Marcel in her time of need, but she went to him for his advice and hasn't seemed to take it. So it's like, you know that friend that always asks you what to do and then just doesn't listen to what you say? And you're like,
she did kidnap Haley for something.
All right,
so
that's true. I don't think that's what Marcel meant.
Marcel clearly meant let me and my vampire gang come like mess stuff up for you. She took it as I'm going to go like a more. I feel like she's going to go for more of a mental.
Do you think she's going to break the curse?
I think that if she doesn't do it, if Haley helps her and she's taking Haley away from the one night a month she's allowed to see her child and doesn't repay Haley by at least breaking the curse, then that's pretty messed up.
I just don't understand how having Haley is going to get the witches to respect her.
Is that what she was trying to do with that? Or
she was saying, I mean, I think we see in the previews that she says she's trying to hurt Klaus, which this will do. However, that doesn't solve her problem.
But is she trying to get the witches to respect her, or is she trying to instill fear? Like, is she doing something else?
But you think that her having Haley will instill fear in the witches?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Poor naked Haley, who's like, just let me see hope. I only get one day a month. Even if you let me go tomorrow, I still miss this frickin' month. My daughter's growing up, and I'm not even frickin' there. But you know what?
Davina did say, I have something that you have to do for me first.
Right.
And I've never known Davina not to keep to her word.
So far, but she's a changing woman.
Well, also, people are not keeping their word with not bringing Cole back. They're doing their own things for their own agenda.
But Haley's always... When has Haley crossed her?
I feel like we've seen...
Chat roll, has Haley ever crossed Davina?
Yes. I'm saying that because
I'm asking when.
I remember it happening. I can't remember the specifics.
That's what I said.
I cannot remember the specifics. But the chat roll would like to say there are two theories happening on the chat roll right now. One is that Akil, he's yelling at me to mention this. He thinks that the beast is their youngest brother Henrik, who was killed by wolves. That he is now actually like the beast.
So if we're bringing Freya back, then we got to bring Henrik back?
Yes. And then Darius is saying that he thinks that Hope is the beast.
Yep.
We've always heard
That's
that Hope
coming.
is going to be something. So,
Wow, Hope could be the beast.
but what does that even mean?
Why would she be a beast right now?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So speaking of Hope, we've got Elijah who's watching Hope and then is like, P.S. Hope, can't watch you anymore. Freya, will you come get her? Because I have to go deal with this wolf problem, which he's taken on to be his own thing, where he's finding all these traps and then murdering everybody.
You gotta get the animal control out of there.
This doesn't look like Elijah.
Oh, what?
He's killing all of these people that are doing their job because they're killing wolves.
No, he's protecting.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's protecting
Yes.
Haley,
But
who he loves at all costs.
He is not compelling them to stop hunting. He is murdering them.
Well,
he is taking
That's
guns
true.
and throwing it into their hearts. He is a pissed off guy. He's going to the gym. He's fighting. He's turning into Klaus.
Well, we've seen Elijah be like this in the past.
And you've
Yes.
left him anyway.
And yeah.
Always. But this is the thing. Like, what other choice does he have at this point? It's nothing but ruthlessness with these people.
With
It's
what,
like,
the
just
humans that are killing the
kill.
wolves that are killing their people?
Yeah, that were cursed by Klaus, who
They don't
killed
know.
his girlfriend.
They
What?
don't know if... What's the
Oh,
but?
sorry. I was like, but did you guys notice that, like, they said that the that Mr. Lucian Castle had the papers for the company that owns the land where the wolves are being hunted and killed? Hence why I don't trust him, chat roll. Okay?
Katie, they're trying to kill your kind.
I'm just
Not
saying.
okay.
The
They're-
wolf kind.
This is an outrage.
This is.
Oh, of course it is.
It is, it is. I just feel like Elijah is going down a dark path and he's trying to be everything Klaus is not. He's more similar to Klaus than he'll ever know.
Oh,
They're
100%.
family.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Well,
the
Eli-
Michelsons.
Elijah's moral, but he's never been anything less than a monster as well, though.
Yeah.
And
but
he's definitely had his demons before.
Yes.
That's true.
The Red Door.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Red Door. Speaking of the Michelsons and the
Can't wait
family.
to talk about this one. This one, wait.
All right. I just want you to take it away then. I'm
Okay,
gonna.
so
Freya.
I just thought it was very fascinating that they opened the episode with Freya writing that letter to Rebecca, and she really touched on every piece of the family, what's going on. She's really in tune to the needs, and she's observant of the behaviors and the attitudes and the relationships.
This
really,
was for
really-
the audience. A lot of it was for the audience.
Okay, a lot
like,
of it was-
P.S.
but no,
this is what's
AKA
happening.
Roxy.
It is, but I also think it just really gives us a sense of where Freya's coming from, because, you know, like, she's the only one that I feel like hasn't been able to be involved in the family drama for so many years, that she's just coming from this sense of she wants it to work. She wants the relationships to be repaired a little bit. I feel that she's just like the little bit of the piece.
I will
I
say
don't
this.
know.
I gave Freya a lot of crap last season.
I
I
remember.
was not her biggest fan.
yeah.
So far in episode 1, she didn't do much this episode, honestly.
It's
so I don't know
true.
that my feelings are completely
She got drunk at
changed
the
about
club.
her. Yeah, she wrote a letter, she got drunk at the club, and then she told Hope
That was
about it.
so cute.
Yeah,
though.
and I thought it was
thought
really cute, and I
adorable.
admire her for sticking and standing by her family and trying to get them back together.
Yeah.
And
And I
telling-
think it's very admirable of her to do that and to stick around when no one really trusted her to begin with. But that doesn't mean that I completely forgive her for everything that she put them through last season. But I'm getting there.
You know, I've always been on the Team Freya side, basically. And I think
Are
that
you
she...
not on somebody's side? I feel like you got a lot of. You're a supporter. You're a lover of love. I forgot.
Lover of love.
Okay,
you
good.
know?
So you're Team Freya.
So I'm just saying, I think that she came in the whole picture saying, I want to, you know, trust me, I want to be family. And she's standing up to that and living by that.
But she kind of screwed them sometimes last season.
Well, no, but she was trying to kill Dahlia, who was the bigger threat, so she was doing whatever. Remember, she was Team Freya because she was trying to get it done while she was trying to trust her family and trying to show them to trust me.
But
And
she like almost daggered Klaus in the
yeah.
midst of this.
This is what I'm
do
confused
what
with
you gotta
Freya.
do.
Let's go over the things she said. Although a lot of this was for the audience, she said Elijah and Klaus are at odds. She said Marcel controls the quarter and has this fight gym, and Elijah joined it. Hope is good. She sees Haley once a month. Davina won't help all the vampires. Klaus sees Cami for chats. How does she know all this crap? How are you aware of what Davina is doing or what Klaus is talking to Cami about? She like went into detail. Girl, you have eyes everywhere.
She's, roaming around, checking it out, seeing what's going
Yeah,
on the past couple of months.
that's why I think
Getting
she's
drunk at
like
the club.
Yeah, she's hanging out.
She's living her life, and she's,
right.
I'm on board with her.
She's fun, cool Auntie
Yeah,
Katie.
she's fun Freya. She's fun Auntie. She's the fun Michelson.
Here's what I don't want. I do not want to see Rebecca not appear this season because we have Freya. I want both sisters. I don't want Freya to just be the new Rebecca.
Is that where it's coming from?
I'm a little bit of it.
I understand that. I understand that because I love Claire Holt.
I do too.
But I'm going to have to say, though, and I've been Team Freya since day one, I just really freaking love her energy. I love her dynamic. It's probably her as an actress, but she really makes me want to root for this character. And the fact that she does know everything about what's going on, and then she's reaching out to Rebecca and she's asking for advice, and, she's got eyes everywhere. I really trust her. I think she's the one that's going to come through for the family.
Well, I hope that you prove me wrong and that she does. Let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I care more about the chat than I care about you guys, so if you guys have predictions in there right now, let us know. I'm just kidding. I love you guys a lot, and you guys are brilliant people, and I want to hear predictions from everybody, starting with Donald.
I predict that the only wolves to survive the attacks is that girl, Haley Jackson.
That girl, though.
Yeah, that girl, Haley Jackson.
Who is she?
Naked girl,
like
naked girl, naked Haley girl, cousin probably.
Yeah.
I think that Freya saves the day. I think that you know what?
What day?
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I predict that next week I'll have more predictions because things will have happened by then.
Ooh, fancy. Katie, what you got?
I think we're gonna learn more about these first vampires that the originals have turned. We're gonna get more flashbacks. And I just think that Haley and there's gonna be some kind of a still love triangle-ish type thing going on with Jackson and Haley and Elijah. I think we're gonna get more of that this season.
Me from the chat roll, Colonial Warrior says prediction: Klaus and Cami kiss. Light Angel 452 agrees that Hope might be the Beast. And Jeremy Kennedy says Freya and Davina team up, which could be interesting since they're both witches. And sorry, they're all still coming in right now. So sorry, guys, it's hard for me to read.
And we get Cole back so that there can be Colvina because I love them so much.
My prediction is that Jackson's alive because I saw him in the preview for next week's episode.
And that makes us
that truck full
happy.
of wolves had me very scared that we were going to be missing the king and queen of the wolves. And you all know I'm a huge Jackson fan, so everyone in the chat roll who said to kill him, he wasn't even in tonight's episode. Why are you picking on him?
I love it. I love you. Got to stand by your man. You got to. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us in the chat room or after the fact. We love hearing everything you have to say. As always, you can find us on AfterBuzz TV, AfterBuzzTV.com, YouTube.com/AfterBuzzTV, and leave a comment wherever you are on iTunes, on SoundCloud. Give us that 5-star, that thumbs up, so that we can keep coming back and talking to you guys every week and reading your comments and what you have to say. And in the meantime, throughout the week, if you want to talk to this amazing panel, Donald, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Donald Romaine and Twitter at Tigris Hobbs.
You can find me on Twitter at Katie E. Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's Campbell. Instagram at KatieCampbell13 and YouTube.com/KatieCampbellOnline. I have a vlog.
And you can find me at the Tiona Hobson, and shout out to Validoscope West in the chat roll. I saw you, girl. Don't worry, I got you.
Katie says yay. You guys can find me at Roxy Striar, and you can find us here next week at 11 p.m. Pacific time. We'll see you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.